Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I have a Cattleya video for you. So this Cattleya is very dehydrated. It has been struggling a lot. I'll show you some signs of dehydration, but also I'll tell you how I treated this plant and I will repot it. So if you're curious about what to do when your Cattleya is very stressed, stay here with me and let's access this together. How I know that my Cattleya is stressed? There are some simple signs. One of them is to look at the size of the pseudobulbs. The pseudobulbs are getting smaller and smaller, which means that it doesn't have enough energy to keep growing. Something else, the leaves, they are wrinkled. If you look at them, they are all like very lumpy as well. They are not plumpy and green. And all the pseudobulbs, all of the new growths, they are all wrinkled and very dehydrated. Which means that all the water that they used to store, they probably use this reserve of water to hydrate the leaves and to keep the plant alive. All of these are signs that something is wrong with the root system. Or this plant has zero roots, that's what I suspect. Most of roots are probably dead. What I think it happened in the case of these orchids specifically, I think I have a case of root rot. The pot is too deep. The mix wasn't adequate for my plant, that's what I think. So kept the bottom very humid, but the top a little bit dry, which was a problem. So the hydration was not split across my Cattleya. And before I water my Cattleya, I make sure that the mix is completely dry so I can offer it some water again. So when you encounter a case like this one, and you know there is something wrong with the root system inside the pot, the best approach is to repot your Cattleya. So we have to remove from its pot and check the root system and then repot it again. If you didn't repot it long ago, you can definitely reuse the mix if it is still fresh and new. However, if it is a new orchid or if it's potted in this pot for a long time, it's a great thing if we actually remove this potting mix and offer a completely new potting mix, because it can be very old, completely degraded, and it can actually affect the root system of our Cattleya. This Cattleya is an old Cattleya, one of my first Cattleyas, and it has been struggling for a while, but that's my fault. I didn't pay close attention to it. I didn't try to actually address the issues properly, and I'm not happy with the way that it's potted, the way that's sitting on my windowsill. I think the light is too strong for how dehydrated this plant is, especially if you have a plant that is not healthy. They like the bright light, but I will avoid the natural light for now. I place it under my growing lights just until I find that this plant is finally established. I will replace this pot. I will place another plant where this one used to sit, and I will try something new. So what I intend to do here, I'll show you when I start to repot this orchid. Grab your tools if you're repotting your orchid right now, and subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment down below, like this video if you're enjoying it so far, and keep tuning in. And without further ado, let me turn my camera and set up my table. Here I have my very stressed orchid, and let's see what we can do with it. The first thing is to remove this stick, and also remove this plant from the potting mix. As I told you, I know that the potting mix is not adequate for my plant. It was very easy to remove it. Another thing that I know here is that probably all of these roots will be dead. How I know that these roots are dead? All of them are mushy, so if I touch the root system, I can see that they are very mushy and the outer layer of the roots will come. And even the inside layer, the inside string is dark and is dry. So it's all mushy, it is mushy, mushy. As I told you, I thought that this was a case of root rot, and I think I was completely right. Is everything completely dead here? So I can safely cut all of the dead roots. Let's start doing that. I have some hope. Oh my gosh, what happened here? Oh, didn't do anything, did I? Okay, anyway. I think I snipped part of my newest growth, which is not good. It was the last thing that I needed right now. But anyway, I think it will bounce back. I have a new growth sprouting from the base here, which is a very good sign because this new growth can push out a completely new root system. I have one aerial root that is alive. I have to be very careful with this one. I think the upper part here is still alive. This one is completely dead. So I'll keep doing that. That's the first step, is to look through the root system and to remove everything that is gone. By the way, this orchid it's a no ID orchid. It was one of the first orchids that I bought. It's very similar to the other one that I have. It's just a simple pink phalaenopsis. You know, when you start collecting orchids and you just want to, anything that people show you, you want to buy because you are so into it. That was exactly it when this happened, when I decided to buy this one. So it's a no ID pink Cattleya, very common. I bought it, I don't remember where, I think it was on eBay. And it hasn't rebloomed because look at the state of this. So I have it for many, many years. I have this one for 4 years already. Yeah, at least it's alive. Could be worse than that. Let's see if... Okay, I think that's it. Don't know if that's alive or not. This is plumpy. I leave it to be. Okay, now what I have to do is to grab my tray. I'll just quickly clean everything here and I will come back to repot this plant. So I am down potting it. It was in a much larger pot. I don't need a large pot for this orchid. As you can see, it will take a while to bounce back. It's very dehydrated. It barely has roots. And also the newer growth will be very small. Until I have this plant filling this pot, it will take a long time. So for now, this will do. On top of that, I like that it has plenty of ventilation holes as well here. Cattleyas, they benefit from it. All the epiphyte plants do. But I feel like Cattleyas, they are so used to dry and hot environment, and I live in the opposite spectrum of that. So this will help. Let me do something in here. My idea is to have all of the roots that are still kind of alive, touching the potting mix, because I need them to at least hydrate a little bit my plant. And on top of that, I need the newest growth that are growing from here to be touching the potting mix, and hopefully will go upwards when start to look for light. What else I can tell you is, if you have a new orchid, a new Cattleya, before you pot it up, it's advisable to spray hydrogen peroxide on the root system to avoid bushy snails, and also can clean your roots from mold and other types of fungus. So I'm not going to do that because that's not a new orchid, it's an old one, and I'm just trying to see if I can save it. Who knows? Maybe I will be lucky. I'm going to add a ton of bark. I discovered that my Cattleyas, they benefit from lots of bark in their potting mix to aerate my potting mix, but not only, because I live in a place that's very humid, so they enjoy the air around the roots. Fingers crossed, it will do the trick and it will be enough to make my plant grow healthily. I will also add some slow release fertilizer here, because sometimes I forget to fertilize my orchid and I find that they benefit from it. Let me grab it. So I have my slow release fertilizer here. Just add a few beads, not a lot. And what else? I need to grab my more bath, I think. It is not going to be enough. I thought it would. I'm going to also use some rocks to stabilize my plant. Oh gosh, the roots came out. Now, whoopsie daisy, let's cut. Just need to finish filling my pot. Cattleyas are so beautiful. I love these creatures so much. However, I struggle a lot to figure them out here in my environment. Funnily enough, they are from the country where I come from, We have not all of that, but like a ton of different Cattleya species. They are from Brazil, and I am from Brazil, so I know very well the difference in terms of climate from here to there, and I can understand why they grow amazingly in Brazil, but here is a little bit of a struggle. It's all good though. Here we are. I have my fully repotted Cattleya. I'm gonna use these huge rocks for now to stabilize it. I'm gonna just offer it some water, place it on its pot here, and I will come to conclude the video. 1 second. So that is my fully repotted Cattleya. That is still not looking very good. However, I have hope that now this repotting will do the trick. Just a few notes before I go. This pot is full of ventilation holes, and also I have some space here between the pot and the outer pot, because I know that in my climate, if I'm not very careful, I can easily suffocate Cattleya roots. So with this ratio of bark and moss, I know that the roots will do well. At least my other Cattleyas are doing very well inside them. Another consideration here is Cattleyas, they need to be watered when the mix is completely dry. Be careful, don't over-water them, but also don't leave the roots to become completely dry, dehydrated, and then you can have other issues as well. So it's also about balance. Something very important is research about the orchids that you are growing. And Cattleyas, they are gorgeous. They push out beautiful blooms. It's that kind of fluffy flowers. They are usually fragrant, and they can definitely warm your heart when they are in bloom. But we need to look after them, repot them, and maybe in the future we can have some healthy plants full of buds. So I hope I have good news for you in the future. If this type of content is something that you'd like to see more, hit the like button, leave a comment down below, subscribe to my channel. I also have a super thanks down below here that's come from YouTube. That's just if you want to offer some extra support to the channel. But more than that, thank you very much for being here and to watch this video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye!